August 1st, 2025 marks 2 years since I moved from Brooklyn, New York to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And I remember around this time, let me see what time it is. Around this time, we probably had just pulled in. We were still offloading the U-Haul and stuff like that. It feels like I've been here for such a long time, but it's only been 2 years. And we were probably, like I said, now offloading the U-Haul into our new trailer home. And yes, I said it, our trailer home. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But every time I meet somebody and they ask me, oh, where are you from? And I say, oh, Brooklyn, New York. And the first question I get is, why? Like, what made you move from New York to North Carolina? And not just North Carolina, but Rocky Mount, North Carolina. It's like from the big city to a trailer community. Why would you do that? And my answer always remains the same: for a lower cost of living. And that's just the truth, because when we found out that we had to move from the apartment that we were living in Brooklyn, the first thing we started thinking about was, where could we find an affordable apartment? And we know for a fact that it wasn't going to be in Brooklyn, New York. We know for a fact it wasn't going to be in Queens, Long Island, Manhattan, none of that. Because if you guys know anything about New York, is that the rent is expensive. It's like super expensive. So we knew for a fact that we was gonna move out of New York. We didn't know to where, but we found Rocky Mount and the rent was so cheap that we was like, you know what, maybe we should like tap into this and see what it's all about. And that's one of the reasons why we moved into a trailer community, because it was actually more reasonable. We wanted a house instead of an apartment building, but in order to be on the, you know, more affordable side, we had to opt for a trailer home or a trailer community opposed to like a regular, you know, house. So that's why we decided to move into a trailer community out here. And we've been cutting costs ever since. Like, we have to cut costs on everything, every single thing, because moving from Brooklyn to Rocky Mount, I no longer had a job. It's been 2 years. I can't believe it's been 2 years. I no longer had a job, so there was only one income. And on one income, you guys know, if you're in the US, anywhere in the world actually, you could barely survive on one income, much less. Like, you know, like it's ridiculous. So, and we got 2 kids now, so it has been a lot. So like I said, we've been trying to cut back on a lot of things since we've gotten here. In the last 2 years, we've cut back on, for example, my phone fell in the machine recently, and that was the end of that, obviously, you could imagine. And I ended up having to buy a Motorola. Instead of going for the regular Samsung or iPhone, I went for Motorola because it was just cheaper and I was able to cut costs. I was also able to cut costs on our phone bill, you know, changing the phone plan, because it's just hard out here. Even my bare face, I always come on camera bare face lately. Hardly ever I would come on camera with a full face of makeup, and that's because I haven't bought makeup in a long time, cutting costs because I really don't need it. Plus it's so hot out here. Like, okay, right now it's overcast, so you know it's not that bad, but it's so hot out here that you know, it doesn't make sense. I sweat too much makeup. Like I was saying, I sweat way too much to be wearing makeup out here. Like, it's super hot. I'm constantly drinking water, constantly hydrating these girls because it's just so hot. And with that being said, of course, we've been spending a lot of money on bottled water. Now I have to say, the price of food, groceries, and at restaurants is more expensive out here. It was a little bit cheaper in New York, and I used to be complaining when I was in New York about the prices of the food and stuff, but when I got out here I was like, wait, this is another level of high price. But I prefer paying more for food than more for rent, because you'll be paying way more in rent, like thousands more in rent, opposed to paying $100 more for food, you know what I mean? So it still winds up being cheaper living out here. But the one thing that I know for a fact that we spend a lot of money on is water. Like, we spend a lot of money on water. Even in New York, we used to be buying like 3 cases of water every 2 weeks or something like that. Every 2 weeks. Even when we go on vacation, like, quick story time. Could you believe when I took my husband to Grenada for the first time, he made me ship a barrel with bottled water ahead of time so when we get there he can have water to drink, all because he was scared of drinking the water out there. He didn't trust it, you know. And of course I felt offended because I grew up drinking the tap water. I was in Scouts, so I would drink spring water straight from the source whenever we would go hiking or camping or something. So it made me feel a little way about him not wanting to drink the water out there. But I understood and I was like, you know what, okay. So we packed a barrel full of bottled water and sent it out there for him. Never again. Let me tell you, never again would I ever pack and ship a barrel of plastic bottled waters outside of the US ever again. And one of the reasons why is because now I have an epic water bottle filter that I could take anywhere. This is it right here, right? And this is actually the first time I'm hearing about this. I never knew this existed. This is a water bottle, but it has a filter in it. All of their water bottles come with 2 filters. So there's one for everyday use that you can use in, like, for tap water and stuff like that in the house, and there's one that's an everywhere use. So you can use it outside in spring water, anywhere you go in nature. You could literally fill up your bottle with water and it will filter your water, so you can drink water from literally anywhere in the world. So that's one of the reasons why I would never ship bottled water to Grenada or anywhere, like I said, ever again, because we just have this bottle and we just refill it as much as possible, whether it's tap water, whether it's spring water. He'd be drinking from this bottle. I'm not doing it ever again. And the good thing about this is it helps us not have to buy all these cases of water every week or every 2 weeks. Like I said, we'd be running through water 2-3 cases in 2 weeks, you know. So it helps us cut the cost on that, which is really good. And I also got the pure filter mug, so it filters the water at home, so I don't really have to use a water bottle at home. I can always use the mug and I can give it to the girls. I feel safe. I can fill it, you know, tap water, and it filters it through and give the girls some water. Like I said, cut costs right across the board. And I'm also thankful that I have 2 little girls and they were born back to back, so she gets all the hand-me-downs from the other one. So again, cutting costs. I don't have to buy a lot of new clothes. I don't have to buy new toys. I don't have to buy new shoes. I mean, if I want to, you know, I could always buy some, but I don't have to. So that's another way I'm able to, like, cut costs. And to be honest, living out here for the last 2 years, cutting costs wherever I can, I could genuinely say that that has humbled me a lot, because I would never think like I would be. I'm not that type of girl. Like before, I would have been like, I'm not that type of girl. I'm not that country life type of girl that, you know, humble, like no. I want the big city. I want the lights. I want the action. I want the bags, the clothes, you know, buying new clothes. I don't know the last day I bought new clothes, like honestly. And like I said, that has humbled me so much, and I thank God for that. Like, God took me through this rough patch to humble me, so I can see, like, listen, this is not even necessary. Like the expensive bag, the expensive this is not even necessary, because there's people out there literally starving. I was looking at a video on the news the other day, and I saw people, it was not a video, yeah, it was a video on the news were reporting on it, and I saw people with their pots running to get food. Like, so many people, they were running with pots and trying to get, like, you know, a hot meal. And you know, it broke my heart, because I was like, wait, I'm complaining, oh, I don't want chicken today, I want steak, or I don't want pork chops today, I want fish. And or I might say, I'm tired of eating chicken every day. These people don't even have chicken to eat. They don't even have bread. They literally have nothing to eat, and we're here taking it for granted, you know. So like I said, I'm just grateful to God that he took me through this time so I can see what's more important in life, which is family and helping others, being kind to others. And knowing what I know now, I would probably move out here a long time ago. I would have probably moved here a long time ago, not because I love this place, because I'm still getting used to it, but just because of the lesson that I learned from it. Like, I could have learned that lesson a little earlier in life, but I think, you know, God's timing is the right timing, and it happened when it was supposed to happen. So anyway guys, this is it. After 2 years of being out here, it just showed me a lot. It humbled me a lot, and it helped me to budget and, you know what I'm doing when it comes to money. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.